God has plans to prosper you, give you hope and a future too. So let me remind you of what you have the power to do.
You've been on a journey, trying to find your way. Like the sun, you're rising, 'cause today's your day to unlock every gift inside. Let your potential flow. Don't let anybody kill your vibe. Time to bust up and show. Gotta keep on reaching, keep believing. Act like you know you can win. Live your dreams, reach your goals. Be happy, you can make it. Get motivated with Cassandra. We've got wellness, church by phone. You don't even have to leave your home to be inspired. To rise a little higher with Cassandra. They said you'd never make it, but you're still here. Kept on pushing through all your doubts and fears. Never let a hater see you sweat. Remember who you are. When they go low, let them reap what they sow while you go far. Gotta keep on reaching, keep believing. Baby, shine like a star. You can win, live your dreams, reach your goals. Be happy, you can make it. Get motivated with Cassandra. If you got haters, they gon' hate. Keep your head up and just be great. It's your season, your winning season with Cassandra. Rise up, time to get on your grind. Go after your dreams, no time to fall behind. Push till the end and never give in. It's your winning season, get ready to win. Keep moving forward and never look back. It's time to get motivated with Cassandra Mack. You can win, live your dreams, reach your goals. Be happy, you can make it. Get motivated with Cassandra Mack. We've got wellness, church by phone. You don't even have to leave your home to be inspired. To rise a little higher with Cassandra Mack.
Today we're talking about some common signs that the friend or family member that you've distanced yourself from has a monitoring spirit. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share if you find value here. Let's get this channel to 100,000 subscribers. I know with your support we can reach that goal. So we're doing something here called Comment of the Day, where we are highlighting comments from our channel. So if the videos have helped you in any way, let me know in the comment section. If you're a member of any of the clubs of the Cassandra Mack YouTube channel, let me know how membership has helped you. If you have any of my books, any of my inspirational mugs, hoodies, t-shirts, which one do you have and how has it helped you? So today's comment comes from Elena from Slovakia. And she says, I love your YouTube videos. I start my day with them, and they help me to stay focused on what matters the most. I also have your Kindle prayer books, the Simple Prayers for the Mind book, and it helps me to take authority over my thought life first thing in the morning. I am so glad I found your channel. So Elena, thank you, and I am glad that the channel helps you to get your mind right first thing in the morning. We hear that a lot of people listen to this channel first thing in the morning. And what we take in first thing in the morning is very important because it sets our tone for the day. And I'm glad that the prayer books have helped you. God bless you, Elena. So we're talking about signs that a friend or family member that you've distanced yourself from has a monitoring spirit. And I want to start with a question. Have you ever been in a situation where you and a friend or family member, you have either fallen out, you just could not get on the same page, and you decided it was best for you to step back from that relationship, or you began to observe certain things about them where you knew that you could no longer be in constant contact with them. And you made a decision. You weren't nasty. You weren't cussing them out, yelling and screaming. You just stepped back. You were less available, more focused on your primary priorities, your purpose. Maybe you heard they were talking about you behind your back and really throwing mud on your name, but they try to pretend as if they're not doing that. And you just step back. You didn't even confront them. You're like, I got better things to do with my time than to sit in the cesspool of gossip. I got stuff to do. And you just decided to just live your life. Or maybe you've outgrown someone, right? But you begin to suspect that you are dealing with a friend, or this could even be a family member, and they have a monitoring spirit. So I want to give you some signs. But before I do, I want to define what is meant by monitoring spirit. So let me be clear that you will not find the exact term monitoring spirit in the Bible. This is important. You will not find the term monitoring spirit in the Bible. But here's what you will find. You will find wicked spirits, and there are different kinds of wicked spirits. And so a monitoring spirit that has really decided to focus in on collecting information about your life to try to use against you, that's not being done for good. So if it's not being done for good, it can only be one other thing, evil. So I want to give you some scriptures, and we're going to broadly under the umbrella of wicked spirit, and then we will narrow it down in terms of monitoring spirit. And so I want to start with Ephesians chapter 6, verses 12 through 13 before we even get to the signs. And it says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, against the spiritual forces of evil in heavenly places. Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything to stand, and then it goes on to talk about the 6 pieces of armor to put on. So already from the get-go, we see that there is a spiritual war going on. And if we are naive or in denial about this, we do ourselves a disservice, because there are 2 realities in this world. There is the spiritual unseen reality, and then there is the physical reality that we experience through our 5 physical senses. But the real struggle is not what you see with your eyes, even though that's what it appears to be. The real struggle is the spirit operating, or the motivating force operating behind the behaviors that you actually see. And so it lets us know that the struggle is not flesh and blood, but against rulers, against authorities, against spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. And so spiritual forces of evil have to do with evil spirits. And then it tells us how to protect ourselves spiritually, right? Which is going to also include mental and emotional, right? And so the soul is the mind, the emotions, the will expressed by our choices. And then our spirit is the aspect of our being made in the image and likeness of God. And so when we're putting on the full armor of God, that helps so that we're protected mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and it empowers us to stand our ground when the day of evil comes, to not cave in, to not be defeated. We might be discouraged. That's human. You know, we might have sad days, bad days, depressed days, but to not be totally defeated. And it says when the day of evil comes, not if. When the day of evil comes, not if. And so you're going to have some evil days, as all of us are going to be faced with people that don't have good intentions for us. There's no getting around that when the day of evil comes. So that's the backdrop, right? Now, I want to talk about monitoring spirits. And then, actually, no. Let me go to 1 Timothy 4:1, and then I'm going to take you to monitoring spirits. So 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1 says, now the Spirit expressly says that in latter times some will depart from the faith by devoting themselves to deceitful spirits and teachings of demons. So this sets the stage, so to speak, to know that there are demons and that there are deceitful spirits. A deceitful spirit is a wicked spirit. When somebody is operating from a monitoring spirit, right, it is a form of deception, particularly if they are trying to play in your face as if they're being upfront with you, or they're trying to act like, oh no, I don't watch your stuff, I'm not interested in nothing you do. This is what they're saying to your face. But you notice that they're the first ones to read every story. Every story posted on Instagram, they're the first ones to read every story, but yet they tell you they have no idea what's going on in your life. So you caught them in a lie. So they are being deceitful with you. So that is a monitoring spirit is also a deceitful spirit, because it is operating from a space of deception. So this is giving us a backdrop, right? Now let's look at Psalm 37, verse 32. Now this is the one that's going to speak to monitoring spirits, although it's not using that exact term. And it says, the wicked watch the righteous and seek to slay him. Let me repeat. The wicked watch the righteous and seek to slay him. So when you are operating in righteousness, I didn't say we're perfect. Nobody's perfect. But you are not out here intentionally trying to maim, harm people, cause chaos. You are not out here trying to steal, kill, and destroy from people. You are out here trying to walk in purpose, walk in destiny, and do the things that God would have you do. So you are walking in righteousness, but do know that the wicked watch the righteousness. So you're going to have some wicked ex-friends, some wicked family members who are going to watch you with the intent to slay you. Now look what it says. It says the wicked watch the righteous, and then it says the intent, and they seek to slay him. Seek is desire, is looking. They're looking for a way to slay you. So when you are dealing with a watchful spirit in a toxic way, meaning a monitoring spirit, a toxically watchful spirit, we're not talking about somebody who is watching you from a godly place to aid you, guide you, help you. We're talking about the monitoring spirit. So when the wicked is watching the righteous with the intent to try to seek for a way to slay you, they're looking for a way to kill you. Now, we know that killing doesn't always mean literal, so don't take this literally. We know that the Bible uses parables. The Bible uses allegory. The Bible uses metaphors to help us grasp and understand the workings of the kingdom. And so a killing can happen in many ways. Killing your confidence, killing your self-esteem, killing your reputation. When somebody is slandering you, we call that character assassination for a reason. Why do we use the word assassination, which means to murder? It is the assassinating of your character by way of throwing mud on your name. They seek to kill your character. That's a form of killing, right? John 10:10 says the thief comes to steal, kill only. I'm sorry, let me go back. John 10:10 says the thief comes only. That word only is important. The thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. But Christ comes so that we may have life and have it more abundantly. So the only reason the thief is coming around, only reason, is to steal, kill, and destroy, to do one of those things. And stealing doesn't have to be like stealing your property. It can be stealing your faith. It could be stealing your sense of self-worth by belittling you. It could be stealing your drive, where you are so depressed because of the things that this person is doing that you don't even have the drive or the motivation. And we already talked about how killing can be character assassination. So steal, kill, and destroy. And they can destroy what you're trying to build. You're trying to build something productive and positive, and they're throwing mud on it to try to destroy. So it doesn't always have to be literal, although it could be. But it could also be figuratively. Or stealing the intangibles, right? The things that are non-material, but are important and significant to your life nonetheless, right? Your hope is not a tangible thing you can touch like a glasses or a pen or a cup, but it is significant nonetheless. The Bible says hope deferred makes the heart sick. We become emotionally unwell when we lose our hope. So with that as our backdrop, let me give you some signs that you may have a person who you really don't deal with them because of whatever the reasons are, that you decided that it's best for you to go your separate ways. And here's how you know you have someone in your orbit. Number one, they are extremely nosy and intrusive to the point where you start to feel like the conversation is not a conversation, but it's an inquisition. You're like, dag, this feel like an inquisition. What is going on? So they are extremely nosy and intrusive to the point where you start to feel like the conversation is an inquisition. You got to be mindful of that. Two, they're constantly watching. They're constantly watching everything you do. Actually, that should be number one. But they're constantly watching everything you do, even if they won't admit to it, even if they play it off like they have no idea what's going on in your life. And so this will be a person who, you know that the two of you really don't deal with one another. They see you in the neighborhood. Let's say you live in the same neighborhood. They see you in the neighborhood. They see you in the supermarket, the post office, running your daily errands, whatever you do. Don't speak to you when they see you, right? We're going to send you a friend request. Make it make sense. Why do you want to be my friend, yet you see me in person and never speak to me? Because they want to be in your orbit to know what's going on in your life. Be mindful, especially of that. Or maybe it is a friend who you went to high school with, you went to college with, a former friend. You went to high school with, you went to college with, but the two of you have went your separate ways for whatever reason. They have their life, they're doing their thing, you wish them the best, you wish them nothing but love. But they're living their life, you're living your life. And you're not involved in each other's lives, and you're clear about that. You haven't spoken to one another in years. Neither one of you have picked up the phone to speak to one another. You have no hate towards them. But you recognize, let me be very clear, because people will try to mesh this with unforgiveness, and this has nothing to do with unforgiveness. This is about the recognition that a season is over. You can totally forgive someone and truly and authentically want the best for them. And if you happen to hear good news, you are genuinely and truly rejoicing, like, wow, that's beautiful. She got married. That's beautiful. He got, a promotion or whatever's going on in their life. If you happen to hear about it through the grapevine and you're not monitoring, but maybe you have mutual people and they mention it, and you are genuinely happy, like, wow, that's good news, glad to hear it. And then you move on to the next conversation because you're not really in each other's lives like that, right? But they sending you a friend request. Let's say you accept the request, let's just say, and they never comment, never have any type of interaction with you. After sending you that friend request, we're going to play the whole thing out. You see them in the supermarket a week later. They look in your face and keep walking. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. So clearly, if they look in your face and keep walking, they are not interested in engaging with you. They want to monitor you. You got to watch for that. And people get very offended with these type of topics. And the very people who get offended are the very people who do this. So don't pay them no mind. Keep moving forward in the things of God. Number 3. So we did 1 and 2. Number 3, when you're dealing with someone who, let's say this could be a family member, right? They will pressure you to answer their questions as if you owe them an explanation. You ever have somebody like that? This could be a family member. Like, you are a whole grown adult, paying your bills, living your life, and they pressure you to answer their questions as if you owe them an explanation. The other day, I saw you talking to this gentleman, and it looked like the two of you were dating. Are you dating? Are you dating? Huh? Are you dating? Well, are you dating? Well, are you not dating? What are you doing? Are you dating? Are you dating? And you're like, oh my gosh, can I get a breath in? And you are actually feeling pressured, like you have to answer that question. Well, no, we're just friends. Oh, well, the way he was looking at you, it seems like you were dating. Well, how long have you been friends? How long have you known? And you were like, oh my gosh. And that is not how you normally engage with one another. This person barely says hi to you, but want to be in your business, because context is everything. So we are not talking about this as a healthy friendship. and you share some of the details of your life. Nope, that's not what we're talking about here. So if somebody does that, you're derailing the conversation because you're triggered. 4, you will feel unusually exhausted and drained after conversing with them. When you're dealing with a monitoring spirit who is having an inquisition, because it ain't a conversation, who is having an inquisition with you, you will feel unusually exhausted and drained. So pay attention, because the body doesn't lie. The body doesn't lie. Pay attention to how you physically feel. The body will give you signals of what's going on with you, because sometimes emotionally we can be dealing with so much stress, so much pressure just because of the daily grind that we're not really tuned in to how we feel emotionally. But your body is going to tell you how you feel around a certain person. So pay attention to that. That's number 4. Number 5, this is a big one. They are particularly and especially interested in hearing about the bad things that happen to you or what somebody is saying about you behind your back. They relish in the bad things that happen to you. It's an exciting thing for them. Be careful of people who are excited to tell you all the bad things that somebody else is saying about you. You got to be careful. Now, granted, there's nuance here. There's nuance here. So you may have a situation where someone tried to throw mud on your name to a close and loyal friend, and they checked that person and they just gave you the gist of it. Don't trust so-and-so, watch so-and-so. But the conversation couldn't go that far, because if that person is your friend, the person throwing the mud is not going to feel comfortable. If this is your true friend, the person is not going to feel comfortable throwing mud on your name, because your true friend is going to check that. Your true friend is going to say, that's my cousin. That's like a sister to me. That's like a brother to me. So whatever you telling me, it's like you just told her. Whatever you telling me, I'm telling you right now before you say another word, it's like you telling her. Because I'm about to tell her right now. As soon as you finish the sentence, I'm about to pick. Matter of fact, I'm going to put the phone, I'm going to call her now, put the phone on speaker so she can hear what you're saying. See, your friend's going to have your back. So we're not talking about that. We're talking about the person who they are delighted and excited to tell you the bad news somebody else is saying about you, and they're watching for your reaction. And maybe it's something that really is like a knife cutting you. It's so hurtful. And they are relishing in your pain. Because remember, the wicked watch the righteous and they seek to slay him. I just read you that scripture. So when you're dealing with a wicked spirit in your orbit, and you may not know that yet, right? When you're dealing with a wicked spirit in your orbit who is masquerading, because even Satan, according to the scriptures, masquerades as an angel of light, right? And so when somebody is masquerading as light, they masquerading like, they're a good person with good intentions for you. You may not initially see beyond the mask. This is why your discernment is so important, which is not the same as your intuition. And so be mindful of the person who rejoices when you mourn, because the Bible says rejoice with those who rejoice, mourn with those who mourn. But you will find more people who will actually rejoice at your mourning. The things that bring you sadness, that make you feel bad, watch for that sinister smile. That's number 5. Number 6, if you're friends on social media, we've already said this, but I want to go a little deeper. They will watch all of your stories without ever liking or commenting, to the point where you start to have the inclination to disconnect from them on social media. So you start to get a gut feeling like, you know what, I don't even want this person to be a friend to me on social media. Like it's fake, and I don't do fakeness. As a Christian, you are not required to be phony. Walking in love also equates to doing no harm. Walking in love also equates to doing no harm. So I'm not out here harming you. But I definitely don't want to have you in my home and break bread with you. I'm clear about that. We ain't breaking bread. We're not being fake. We are not friends. You don't even like me. And I know you don't like me. And I'm not going to pretend with you. So keep it where it's at. So you ain't doing no harm, but you ain't going to let somebody play in your face either. And so you begin to feel like you have the inclination, like, you know what? I don't even want to engage in this. We have nothing in common. We have nothing. We're not equally yoked. I don't need to be yoked to this person, even on social media. I don't need to be yoked to this person. So you will begin to have that inclination strongly to disconnect from them on social media. Last but not least, they will make up lies. When all else fails, they will make up lies and start rumors about you as a way to be involved in your life and in your personal business. So when they can't be involved directly, vicariously, they will be involved in your life by lying on your name. So this is the person who, and I have this saying, before you tell people what I did to you, make sure to tell them what you did to me first to cause the reaction. For every action, this is science, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And so before you walk around telling people what I did to you, please be so honest as to first tell them what you did first. Don't people love to say what other people did to them? That's like somebody slapping you in the face. You push them away so that they don't put their hands on you, or they attempt to slap you in your face. And you push them so that they don't, put their hands on you. And they go around telling everybody you push them. But they fail to tell people you push them away because they tried to slap you. Make it make sense. Or you got someone telling everybody you cut them off. I don't know why she don't speak to me. I don't know why she don't take my calls. I don't know why she always says she's busy. Nobody's that busy, but you's a lying snake. You are a lying snake. They fail to tell people all the wicked things they said behind your back, and you have proof, but you are not emotionally invested in having a conversation with them about it, because when you're done, you're done. When you've decided to shake the dust off your feet, no explanation is needed. I don't need to explain to you your wicked ways. When you're wicked, I don't owe the wicked an explanation about their wickedness. So when somebody is being wicked, you don't owe that person an explanation of why you've decided to step back. But they will go around and give the remixed version of the story. Oh, she don't speak to me. But they don't want to say, well, the reason Sally don't speak to Mary is because Mary sent naked pictures of herself to Sally's husband. Now, did Mary tell you this part? Did Mary tell you about the naked pictures she sent to Sally's husband? Because we got them. We got the pictures. I can pull them up. Did she tell you that part? Or she conveniently has selective amnesia about that? That's why Sally don't speak to Mary. Or maybe it's Bob and John, two men. Well, he acting funny. I don't know what up with him. He acting funny. But he don't want to say that he's in the hole to over $5,000 to you. And he refused to pay you back. And he got on the latest Jordans. And these are new Jordans. This ain't something he had. You went to his house the other day. He got a new TV. He got the latest iPhone. You're like, I got the iPhone 10. How you got the latest or 9? How you got the latest iPhone and you owe me thousands of dollars? Where's my money? But he want to go around. John want to go around and say that Bob is this horrible person. But John don't want to admit how he moving. And so they'll make up lies. This is what I'm getting at. And they will start rumors about you to get in front of the narrative. But when it's a monitoring spirit, it's more than that. So it's not just about getting in front of the narrative, right? That's just someone who's deceitful. But when we're coupling it with a monitoring spirit, it is a way to be involved in your life and your personal business, because the wicked watch the righteous to see how they can slay them. So they're trying to slay your character. They're trying to slay your reputation with other people. So with that being said, what is a spirit? And we talked about the spiritual aspect of a human being is that part of them made in the image and likeness of God. So we're created in the image and likeness of God. But that doesn't mean that we reflect that image. That's where free will comes in. We're created to reflect the image and likeness of God. But we have free will also, right? We're not robots. And so we are free to be evil and we are free to be righteous. We get to choose. Every day there's two paths: life and blessings, death and curses. So we get to choose. And so another way to look at an evil spirit is the prevailing tendency or the motivating force. And so by spirit, we're not talking about like how the movies depict Casper the Friendly Ghost. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the motivating force, the prevailing tendency, the inner being, the essence of the inner being. That's what we're talking about. So when you're dealing with an individual whose motivating force is to monitor you, to have things to use against you, to try to derail your destiny, to try to assassinate your character. When you have someone around you whose prevailing tendency towards you is to monitor you, to again use that information against you, use it as currency, whatever the plan is, that's a monitoring spirit. That's a prevailing tendency within that person's nature. When their essential being, meaning the essence of how they move through the world, has to do with monitoring those they are envious of, you are dealing with a monitoring spirit. That is the non-physical part of a person that forms their prevailing tendencies, the motivating force, the essential being. And so when we understand that a wicked spirit can be like that, we take the mystery out of it. And you will begin to realize you got a whole lot of evil spirits in this world, right? When you think about a serial killer, that's not a good spirit. That's an evil spirit. So I hope this is helpful for those of you who have a friend or a family member where you've been feeling the inclination to disconnect from them on social media. Maybe you're still connected on social media. And you've been feeling the inclination to disconnect from them on social media. And you were on the fence about it. I'm going to tell you to be prayerful because I'm a human being like you. So be prayerful, go to God, and do know that you can pray for God to reveal hidden agendas. You can go in the secret places. There's a level of prayer where you can begin to be so in sync with the move of God that you can see things in the spirit. Everybody's not going to believe this, and it's not my job to convince you. Believe what you want to believe. But there is a realm of prayer where you can enter into that. And so do begin to go deeper and deeper in your prayer life and ask God to strengthen your discernment. That's the key. Ask God to strengthen your spiritual discernment, and that will help you to know what you should do. And we're actually having a class in March. The date is March 29th. The class is Saturday, March 29th is the date. Let me look at it real quick. Yep, Saturday, March 29th. And the class is from 12 to 3 p.m. 12 noon Eastern Standard Time to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's happening on Zoom. So you can be part of this workshop wherever you live, wherever you are in the world. And the class is going to be Spiritual Discernment 101. How to strengthen your sixth sense for maximum fruitfulness, effectiveness, and discerning spirits and situations. And so that's happening again on March 29th. I'll leave the link in the video description box so that you can check it out for those who are interested. It is going to be a small, intimate class, no more than just a short. It's not going to be like hundreds of people. It's going to be a small group, not a short group, a small group. This allows there to be real interaction taking place with the group. This allows me to pour into you properly, because when it's in the hundreds and the thousands, You really don't have the Q&A and the hands-on interaction. So my workshops are small clusters. There will also be an accompanying workbook. I'm going to be guiding you through that workbook that'll come with your ticket. And you will definitely learn some keys to strengthen your discernment. So, a spiritual discernment 101. And this is going to give you a baseline and a basic foundation. If you already have the foundation, then you don't need the class. But for those who want to really begin to develop their foundation with spiritual discernment, then I would encourage you to check it out. You'll see it on Eventbrite. When you click on the link will take you to Eventbrite, and you can read through exactly what the workshop is going to cover. And if you're interested, you'll get a ticket. If not, you won't. So with that being said, I always want to encourage those that want more than what the public videos offer, because the public videos only offer a fraction of what I teach. I would encourage you to become a member of the Wellness Club. So the Wellness Club is a level of membership of the Cassandra Mack YouTube channel where we focus specifically on mental and emotional self-care through a biblical lens. We meet twice a month by telephone conference call, the first and third Wednesday of every month. And it's also an interactive group. So it's not just me talking to you live on the phone, but it is also other people who are sharing their wellness strategies. They are sharing things that are working for them and also sharing their challenges. And it is cheaper than therapy. So anyone who's interested, you'll see a join button, and you'll also see the link. When you click on the join button or the link, it's going to take you to channel membership. You will see that there are different tiers of membership. Make sure to join at the wellness tier if you want those wellness club meetings. Make sure to join at the correct tier. And you'll read through and you'll see what comes with each level of membership. So with that being said, have an awesome day. For those who are coming to the self-love workshop on Saturday, February 15th, I can't wait to meet you, connect with you. So February 15th is the self-love workshop. And that's all about how to give yourself the love you never got. So if you've come from a family where you never received affirmational love, this workshop is going to teach you how to begin to repair those places and give yourself the love you never got. So God bless you. Have an amazing day. Take care of yourselves. Let's do our best to be kind to one another.